The all-new 2026 Honda Passport is tougher, boxier, and more capable than before. But here's the twist. Even with the redesign, it might still feel behind the curve. While the two-row SUV segment races towards hybrids, high-tech interiors, and bold luxury vibes, Honda doubled down on old-school fundamentals. So let's break down why you might want to avoid it and why, for some buyers, that's exactly the point. Let's start under the hood, because this is where the Passport makes its clearest statement. The old, reliable, naturally aspirated 3.5-liter V6 returns once again, just lightly revised. Outputs climb by 5 horsepower, bringing the total to 285 horsepower. Torque remains strong and usable, and the old 9-speed automatic has officially been replaced with a 10-speed transmission. That's a meaningful upgrade. The 10-speed delivers smoother shifts, better ratio spacing, and improved responsiveness compared to the outgoing setup. More importantly, for 2026, every Passport now comes standard with Honda's new torque vectoring all-wheel drive system. That's a big shift. Previously optional, all-wheel drive is now baked into the formula. Honda claims this updated system reacts quicker than before, actively distributing torque side to side across the rear axle to improve traction and stability. In real-world driving, that translates to more confidence in bad weather and better composure when pushing through corners. So, on paper, this is a solid mechanical package. Proven naturally aspirated V6, modern 10-speed automatic, standard torque vectoring all-wheel drive, no turbochargers, no hybrid system, no complexity. But here's the trade-off. Fuel economy remains unchanged in the big picture. The Passport is rated at 21 miles per gallon combined, with 19 in the city and 25 on the highway. The highway number improving slightly by 1 mile per gallon over the previous model. TrailSport trims, thanks to their chunkier all-terrain tires, dip lower at 18 city, 23 highway, and 20 combined. And this is where some buyers might hesitate. In a segment increasingly filled with turbocharged and hybrid alternatives pushing well beyond 30 miles per gallon combined, the Passport's efficiency feels borderline outdated. Dependable but not progressive. And that identity conflict defines the entire vehicle. That same theme carries over the moment you step inside. The 2026 Passport's interior has been fully revised, and to Honda's credit, it's better than before. But even with the updates, it still lacks the wow factor. There's no sweeping wall-to-wall screen design or ultra-modern showpiece dashboard. Honda clearly prioritized usability and space over drama. That said, the improvements are real. Every Passport now comes standard with power-adjustable and heated front seats, and the overall material quality has been upgraded. The base RTL trim already includes leather-trimmed upholstery and a power tailgate, which immediately makes it feel more substantial than some competitors' entry trims. Move up to the TrailSport and you get easy-to-clean synthetic leather upholstery designed for actual outdoor use, plus a standard panoramic sunroof and all-season floor mats. Step into the TrailSport Elite and things get noticeably more upscale, with perforated leather seating, ventilated front seats, a heated steering wheel, rear climate controls, rear door sunshades, expanded ambient lighting, and a 12-speaker Bose premium audio system with a subwoofer. So while the design may be conservative, the feature content is strong. Space is another clear highlight. Thanks to a longer wheelbase, rear seat legroom increases by 1.3 inches compared to the previous generation, and cargo capacity grows as well. Behind the second row, there's serious hauling ability, 44 cubic feet, which is enough space to fit 16 carry-on suitcases, and up to 38 with the seats folded flat. That's impressive in this class and reinforces the Passport's practical mission. Tech also takes a major step forward. A standard 10.2-inch digital instrument cluster pairs with a 12.3-inch touchscreen running Honda's latest software, a display that's 54% larger than before. Wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto come standard, along with 5G Wi-Fi hotspot capability and a wireless charger. Google built-in services, including Google Maps and Google Assistant, are included with a 3-year unlimited data plan. Multiple USB-C ports are scattered throughout, and TrailSport models even add 110-volt outlets in both the center console and the cargo area. So yes, it lacks visual drama, but spacious? Absolutely. Practical? Without question. Comfortable and well-equipped? Very much so. It's just not trying to be flashy, and whether that's a strength or a weakness depends entirely on the buyer. Now let's talk about the TrailSport trim, which is easily the most interesting version of the Passport. Honda leans into what it calls a born wild design philosophy, giving the SUV a boxier, more aggressive look with a shorter front overhang, bold Passport badging, and a healthy 8.3 inches of ground clearance. It looks tougher, and more importantly, it's backed up with real hardware. The chassis is significantly more rigid than before, which allows for beefier suspension components and a unique TrailSport-specific suspension tune. Steel skid plates protect the vitals underneath, and for the first time, orange front recovery hooks are available up front. TrailSport models ride on 18-inch General Grabber all-terrain tires, giving them legitimate grip on loose surfaces. 7 drive modes, including new Sport, Trail, and Tow settings, allow drivers to tailor throttle response and power delivery to conditions. Pair that with Honda's torque vectoring all-wheel drive system, capable of sending up to 70% of torque to the rear axle and overdriving the outside wheel, and this becomes more than just a cosmetic package. There's also a second-generation Trail Watch camera system that provides a clear view of your tire path, along with real-time pitch, roll, elevation, and directional data through the Trail Info menu. Off-road, it's genuinely capable. On-road, it remains surprisingly quiet and refined. Towing capacity comes in at up to 5,000 pounds, which is solid for a 2-row midsize SUV and enough for small boats, campers, or utility trailers. Still, most buyers won't approach its limits. It's adventure-ready, but not extreme. And once again, the Passport lives comfortably in that capable middle ground. Let's quickly touch on safety because this is one area where Honda doesn't cut corners. Every Passport comes standard with Honda Sensing, which includes automated emergency braking with pedestrian detection, blind spot monitoring with rear cross-traffic alert, and adaptive cruise control. Those aren't upsell features buried in higher trims, they're baked into the lineup from the start. In daily driving, that means added confidence in traffic, better awareness on the highway, and an extra layer of protection in crowded parking lots. It's not flashy, but it is comprehensive, and in a family-oriented SUV, that consistency matters more than gimmicks. So while the Passport may not lead the segment in innovation, it checks all the boxes where it counts, especially when it comes to keeping you and your passengers protected. Now let's talk pricing because this is where some buyers may pause. The redesigned Honda Passport starts at just over $46,000. That's roughly $3,000 more than the outgoing model depending on the trim. And that's not a small bump. Honda points to the tougher redesign, standard all-wheel drive, the new 10-speed transmission, a stiffer chassis, beefier skid plates, and of course, the 5-horsepower increase, which must be worth at least a few $100s all by itself. The TrailSport trims see an even steeper jump, climbing roughly $3,500 compared to before. And if you step into the range-topping TrailSport Elite, you're looking at a sticker that can easily exceed $55,000. That pushes the Passport firmly into premium territory for a mainstream 2-row SUV. For context, the Passport is built in Lincoln, Alabama, alongside other Honda light trucks, so it's US-built, which matters to some buyers. The real question is whether the added capability and the standard all-wheel drive justify the higher entry price, or whether it prices itself too close to more feature-packed competitors. Honda is clearly resisting the industry-wide urge to downsize everything into a small turbocharged 4-cylinder. Instead, they've doubled down on a proven V6 formula, and whether that's stubborn or smart depends on your perspective. So here's the bottom line. The 2026 Honda Passport isn't trying to reinvent the segment. It's leaning into simplicity, space, and hardware that's been refined over time. In a market obsessed with giant screens and electrification, that restraint will either feel refreshing or outdated. Historically, Honda's reputation for reliability has always been a major selling point, and that plays directly into resale value. Buyers know what they're getting, and the brand's track record helps protect long-term ownership confidence. It's also worth noting that the Passport has earned recognition from Car and Driver's 10 Best list, reinforcing that it's still respected in the broader SUV conversation. So the question becomes simple. Are you shopping for the latest innovation or for long-term peace of mind? Let me know where you land. And if you're cross-shopping the Passport, tell me what else is on your list, because this segment is getting more competitive by the day.